Hello, 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 everybody. Hi. So my name's Eve. This is Eve's Creations Paint Party, and welcome to How To Tuesday. Oh yeah. So tonight we're going to be practicing noses. This guy right here, and a puppy nose probably. So say hello, hello if you're practicing with me tonight, and we'll get this show started. Of course, we have to give props to the Mr. Butters in the house, so let's take care of that. Say hi, Butters. Hey, Butters. Say hi. Say hello to your fans. You're such a good boy. Yes, you are. You are too. Alrighty, and I'm going to be pouring my paint, the weapons this evening. I have a menagerie of brushes going on here. I'll let you know what I'm grabbing when. Water, palette, paper towels, of course. So all of that good stuff. Hello, 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 Tina. Hi, sweetheart. So this is a practice session, no actual painting. We're just going to be doing our practice so it can make your creations at home that much better, okay? Or that much better, or this much better. Make them better. That's all there is to it. Hello, 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 Tina. Hello, hello, artist. So I'm going to put you guys in your handy dandy holder, and we'll get this practice session started. Alrighty, guys. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. All right. Artist, you have a Butters too? Oh, that's awesome. That's nice to know. We got Butters squared. Butters are in the house. Tina is asking, is it a good idea to do it in pencil or with paint? Well, Tina, I'm going to be showing you with paint. So you have paint pens too. There's going to be lots of blending. So you might want to do it with your paints so you could practice your blending. Artist, yours is a yellow lab. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. 6,000%, artist. We got Butter Square going in the house. Tina, I would suggest trying it in paint. Why not? Go for it. We're just practicing, and this way you could practice your blending, because it doesn't really matter how it comes out. Sounds good, Tina. It doesn't really matter how it comes out because we're doing a practice session. That's what this is for, right? Just to make ourselves a little bit better. This is your practice session, so if you guys have any questions, 6,000% ask me. This is your time. This is all for you. Okay, and yes, Tina, get your paints because I'm going to be showing how to mix flesh tones. So you might need practice in that, because we're going to do it in flesh tones tonight. We're going to go with the old flesh tones. Okay, so I have the colors on my palette. Black, white, yellow, red, and blue. Same colors every single party, every single practice. Alrighty, so I'm using this. Thank you so much for whoever sent me support. Your Mr. Nifties are on the way. This is Mr. Nifty, so if you send me support via tips, it is always free to watch. Tips are appreciated, and whoever sends me support and you make sure I get your address, you will get Mr. Nifties in return. So Jerry's Mr. Nifties are on their way out. We got Nifties coming out to ya. And Artist got her Mr. Nifties. All right, Artist, you are so welcome. Thank you for the support. You really warm my heart and humble me. And we have brush sets for sale. The brushes I use for every single paint party. I put a kit together, and they're going out. I have 2 orders going out already. Marcia and Kelly are getting their brushes. Oh yeah. So they're on their way out too. So if you guys want to know what's in the brush sets, I'm going to tell you. Alrighty, so you're going to get, while we're waiting for everybody to get their stuffs together, you're going to get all 3 Fluffies. all 3 Fluffies that I use. Hey Kelly, I was just saying how your brush sets are on their way out. You're going to get 2 Mr. Nifties. You're going to get Mini Me, who is a flat brush, Tiny, who is a round brush, and of course, the infamous Big Boy. So, that is 7 brushes in the set, and I stand by these brushes. They've lasted almost 6+ years of paint party business, and they're still kicking, and plus a complete instruction and care guide. So, if you'd like to order a set of brushes, message me. They're $25 plus shipping and handling. And like I said before, Marsha's set already and Kelly's set is already heading on out. They're heading on out. Alright, so I hope you guys are ready to learn about noses, because we're going to get started. So let's see, what do I want to do? I figured we'll start with a puppy nose, get you guys warmed up a little bit, and then we'll move on to the good old human nose. Oh, just to remind you guys, my videos are always kid friendly, so you pay attention to your comments and I'll pay attention to this thing and we'll be good to go. So hello everybody, thanks for joining me tonight. And we'll get this started. So I'm going to swirl tap dab, I don't know, let's see what I'm going to swirl tap dab here. I think I'm going to swirl tap dab this guy. So this guy is a 1/2 inch flat. That's all he is. So he's just like Big Boy, except he's only a 1/2 inch instead of a whole inch. Alright, so I'm going to swirl tap dab him. And we're going to go right into some black paint. And I'm going to add some white to make it a little bit on the gray side. Alright, I'm going to start off with a nice dark gray. And let's add a little bit of blue to that. Why not? I love adding the blue to the black. It gives it a little more depth, gives it a little bit of a steely tone. I don't know. It's just what I like to do. It's just what I like to do. So if you guys want to know how to paint a whole doggy, I have a how-to dogs already on my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. I will share with you the YouTube channel right now. And you guys can look up all the how-tos that are on that channel. Alright, puppy nose. Okay? You guys ready? Ready, Freddy Spaghetti? I hope you're ready, because I'm ready. Alright, so we're gonna turn around and we're gonna start off with just a rounded shape on top. So a little bit of flat and just the 2 edges. So we're gonna start off with that. And then I want to come down and do a rounded shape this way. So kind of like a rounded diamond. Like if you made a diamond. Hi Kristen! Hello. If you made a diamond, right? If you made, or an upside down, excuse me, an upside down triangle. Right? If you made an upside down triangle and then you just round over the top and round these pieces out, you will get the shape of your puppy nose. Hello, Kristen. And Kelly's in the house. Excuse me. And my soda went down the wrong pipe. So let's relax that. So hello, everybody, right? And then you're just going to fill that in. We're just going to fill that in with the paint that we made, the little color that we made, the little gray color, dark gray color that we made. You're just going to fill that in. Right? So you can fix your shape as you're filling it in. You can fix your shape as you're filling it in. It's all good. Cheese and crackers. I'm going to have to put my hands up. I'm choking on something. We're choking on something, but that's okay. Alright. And a doggy nose, let's do the surrounding area, right? So a doggy nose is going to have, right, he has his jowls over here, and he has the line coming down here, right? And then this goes into a puff, and this goes into a puff, and then it's his mouth, right? So, you know, we can do the surrounding area of a doggy nose. because, you know, shading around the nose is just as important as painting the nose itself. All right, so I want you guys to remember that. So we're going to shade in sorry about that. I just went into a complete coughing fit. Figures, right? Because I'm trying to do my video. Couldn't happen 5 minutes ago. So I'm taking that darker color and I'm just filling. I'm okay. I had soda go down the wrong pipe and now it's kind of stuck in that pipe. Now I'm just going to grab some white and that darker color, and we're going to work our way in this way. Oh boy. Huh. I hate when that happens. Then your nose starts running and everything becomes a problem. So I am just grabbing more white and I'm going to highlight this whole area in here. And alright, hold on. I'm going to blow my nose. Because my nose is dripping now. Cheese and crackers. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm still breathing. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright, so all I did was grab white paint, and while my dark outline was still wet, I blended this all together, because with painting noses it's a lot of shading. So I want you guys to warm up with the puppy nose, because you're going to do a lot of shading, and even with the human nose. So I want you to practice doing that. Alright, so you just put your dark on the outline. Alright, put your dark on the outline. You grab your white paint, and then you just keep moving it back and forth to blend it all together. You just keep moving it back and forth. Right? See me? I'm going from the dark into the white. From the dark into the white. And you're going to blend that all together. And then the same on the other side. I just grabbed some white paint. I put it over here. And now I'm just going to go into my dark. Like you could do like a little scribble in between the two. Right? A little zigzag zoom action. Right? Zigzag zoom. Like this. Okay, and that will blend that all together, and then you can see you're going to have from dark, a little bit lighter, lightest. Okay guys, so then for his lip area, I am going to grab that dark paint again, and I'm going to put the line in here. And then I'm going to do the area onto the lip right there with the dark paint. I'm wiping off my brush. I'm grabbing my white paint, putting that here, and then I'm just going to go in between the two colors. I'm just moving my brush, zigzag zoom style, or however you want to do it, between the two colors, and to blend that all out. Right, and then we're going to do a little smush smush right here. And you're going to blend that out. So all I did was zigzag my brush. All I did was push the paint around and mix the two sections together to get it to blend. And then I'm just going to go back in and add a more defined dark line with the two spots. Do little zigzags so the dark stays right underneath that lip there. You know, use my favorite blending tool. Okay? And then you have all of that area taken care of. Alright, so now we're going to do the spots on the nose. So I'm going to bring you guys in closer. Close up. I'm going to bring you guys in closer. Alright, so then we can do all the parts on the nose. And I figured we'd warm up with that so you guys can warm up with your blending, because lots and lots of blending when you do faces and when you do people. Well, when you pretty much do anything to do with faces, it's a lot of blending. It's a lot of mixing and getting your darks to your lights to soften together, which is what blending is. See how we had the darks here? A little bit darker and then into lighter. So it's a lot of getting that in between the dark and the light, that space, down for yourself. And that all that is zigzag zoom in your brush and between the two colors, the light and the dark, to get that softened area in there of the in-between color. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my small round brush. This is a number 1 round, which is actually the size round that you're... Thank you, Tina. Glad you're okay, but you already messed up. That's why we do a practice session, Tina, so you can mess up, and it's okay. It's all good. So it's okay to mess up. You probably messed up. You either grabbed too much paint. You probably grabbed too much paint, and then you were trying to mix together globby paint, and then it became a big mess. So that's probably something that happened. I'm using very, very, very small amounts of paint. Kelly has the same problem. Kelly grabs too much paint too. Alright, so I am grabbing a number 1 round brush, which is the size of the round, I believe. Yep, number 1. That is in your paint kits. Alright, and I'm just going to grab black paint. Just regular old black paint. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to put his nostrils in. Alright, so a puppy's nostrils are going to be up in here. And they kind of have that like rounded, it's like a teardrop on its side. Alright, so it's like a teardrop on its side. So we're going to put that guy in, and then we're going to, see, you just go across, swoop with your brush, go across, swoop with your brush, make your 2 markings to have it lined up right. Then you just go right in and put the other one in. It's all good. No worries. And then you have your 2 nostrils in there. Alright, and then another thing with a doggy nose is it has this line down the center. So very soft. I'm like zigzag zooming my brush. I'm not making a solid line. Right, and then I'm going to soften it a little bit. Just using my finger. I'm just using my finger to soften it out. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. And then I'm going to come in here with my, I'm using a very small amount of paint. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go on the underside of his nose right there. Trace it out with the black. And then I'm just going to push in to soften it. I'm just pushing my finger inwards like this to soften it all out. So I put it on. And then I take my finger and I just push inwards. And that softens that all out for yourself. Okay? And then this brush has hardly any paint left on it at all. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a little shadow up in here. And a little shadow up in there. And I'm going to soften that out. Just soften that out. Just 2 little shadows right there. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make some more shadow here and make some more shadow there. And I'm just going to soften that with my finger. Just like that. Alright, and then last but not least, we're going to add our lighter parts. We're going to add our lighter pieces in. So I'm going to swirl tap dab that round brush, and I'm going to grab some white, very small amount of white, and I'm going to grab that original color. Okay, so I'm going to grab the white and the original black, blue, grayish color. And I'm just going to make it a little lighter for now, right? Because we're going to start off with a little bit and work our way up to bright, bright, bright. So I'm just going to make it a little lighter. And in this area right here, it's lighter. So I'm going to put that on. And I'm going to smush it with my finger. Okay, so not much difference between the original color and the lighter pieces. Not much difference at all. See, you can't really even tell the difference. It's very slight. See that? Very slight difference. So, I'm going to hold the camera there for you. And I'm going to smush with my finger now to soften it out. Okay, so it's a very, very slight difference. And then I'm going to grab some more. I'm going to grab some more and I'm going to go I'm going to go on that, right? So cute. Puppy noses are adorable. I'm going to go on that top part. I'm going to go around that darker area that I made. And then I'm going to go on the edge over here. There's like a little rounded spot into the nostril piece. And I'm going to soften that out. Okay. And then I'm going to come down in here. And then I'm going to soften that out. Right? And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to grab my black paint and I'm going to make my nostrils, put a second coat on my nostrils with just black paint. Right? And in case any of my smushing kind of got in there. So I'm going to redefine the nostrils with the black paint. Right, I'm going to make this center piece a little darker. And around the edge a little darker. You know me, I add my light and then I lose my dark, so I have to put it back in. It's all good. That's what we do. And I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush. And we're going to do the funnest part of all. We're going to put the top highlight in. Yes, yes we are. So we're going to add even more white to that grayish mixture. Okay, and right on top of his nose, here and there, is that highlight that we love to do. It's so much fun. I'm going to grab a little more white paint. See, the thing is that, you know, you don't want to just throw it on there. You want to make sure that you're building up to it, and it's not a stark white. Okay, maybe a little bit in the center would be, but not the whole thing. All right, so when you put the highlight in there, you want to work your way up. See? So, and now what I want to do is I'm actually going to grab some of the darker color. And I'm going to come to the top here and I'm going to re-put that darker line in there on the top. And then soften that out. Okay, because I get excited when it's highlight time and then I lose my dark. But you want to leave that darker color on the top of his nose. Okay, cat is playing in your water. Dog wants to go out. I'm painting on mixed beaded paper and I am just arg. Oh, that's hysterical, Tina. I'm sorry I'm laughing at you. But I love it. That's just life. Hey, I was choking to death. So you got the cat playing with your water and you got me choking to death. It's just the way we are when we hang together as a fam. That's all there is to it. You'll be all right. Just breathe. Take a woosah moment. You'll be good. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to turn around and grab just the white. And very small amount. I'm going to pop one here. And I'm going to pop some here. Very small amount. And then I'm going to just soften that out. I'm just going to soften that out right there. Right? Just a little pop. Okay? And there is your doggy nose. Okay? It does make life interesting, that is for sure. So I'm going to give you guys as much of a close-up as I possibly can. And you guys can catch up Mustard on working on that. And if you have any questions that you want to ask me, 6,000% ask me. And so far, I got Tina and Artis and Kristen and Kelly is on point. They're painting with me. I'm sure there's some creepers out there and some watchers out there, which is fine. So say hello if you're with us today. Welcome to the fam. We do this family style. We always have something going on. Tina has the doggy, the kitty. I'm choking. We're having a good old time here. Practicing away. We're practicing away. That's what we do. That's what we do. I already did my infomercials for you guys, so that is all good. And as soon as you catch up Mustard with that, we're going to turn around and get into the human nose. Kristen, you have 3 dogs and 2 cats, and one of them, oh my goodness, that's a lot of pets. That's a lot of pets. So now we're going to go into the human nose. And we're going to be mixing flesh tones. So, this is where the tricky stuff starts. Now, if you guys want to know about eyes and lips of humans, I covered that on a YouTube how-to already. And to fish. Wow. You guys have a lot of pets. I just have Butters. 3 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 fish. Oh, I hope they bring you a lot of joy. And Tina's got 6 cats and 1 dog. Oh boy, you guys got love to spare, I'll tell you what. You got love to spare. That's awesome. Alright, so I'm going to turn around and I'm going to show you how to mix flesh tones. You know, very basic stuff here. We're going to do very basic stuff tonight. And I'm going to show you what I know. I told you I'm a self-taught painter. I'm a self-taught painter. So I'm just showing you the little tips and tricks that I learned painting for myself. Okay. You have Butters and a stray cat that comes for dinner. I love it. I love it. Can I be that stray cat? Can I be that stray cat that comes for dinner? Alright, mixing flesh tones. Alright, so you want three flesh tone colors. Okay, so we're going to mix the first one. Awesome, Artist. I love it. I like tuna fish. Alright, so the first one. We're going to turn around and we're going to grab some red. We're going to grab some yellow. And we're going to grab some white. I'm just going to push that on over in there. And that's going to give you a peachy color. Okay, that's going to give you a peachy color. So we're going to make a lot of that. Right? Again, red, equal parts. Red, yellow, white. All equal parts. And that's going to give you a peachy color. Okay? Now, you want to make a lighter peachy color and add more white. That's going to be for our highlights. And you want to make, I'm going to just wipe off my brush right here. And you want to make a darker peachy color. And I add more red to make it darker. I add more red. So then I have a darker peach tone. Okay, so I have the darker peach tone right there. And then I have the regular one and then the lighter one. Alright, now if you want to make a tan tone, like more in the brown family, you can add either black or blue as you're mixing this. So if you want to make a tan tone, right, I'm going to grab equal parts red, equal parts yellow, equal parts white. Right, I'm going to make that peach again. Oh, I need more white. And then in small increments, you either mix blue or black with that. I'm going to grab a little bit of blue. So small increments, you can mix blue or black with that. And if it comes out, too green, add more red. If it comes out too purple, add more blue. Mine's looking a little gray, so I'm going to add more red and yellow to it. I mean, if it comes out too purple, add more red. Blech. If it comes out too green, add more red. If it comes out too purple, add more yellow. So if you want like a tan color, you add small increments of blue or black to it, and that will give you a tan color. Okay, so it all depends what color you want. You can make flesh tones all sorts of colors. It's always that combination. Or you can just buy beige from the store. It's up to you. But if you want to go into your brown skin tones, you just keep adding blue to that combination. And you make it as dark as you want it to get. Alright, so that's how you would make a tan. Marsha's here. Fried cabbage and smoked sausage. Oh, that sounds delicious, artist. Marsha's here. Hi, Marsha. I just started on the flesh tones. Hey, Marsha. Guess what I got all ready to go out? It's your set of brushes. It's all ready. So that's going to be going out soon. Okay. So now that I have my flesh tones mixed, let's start with a profile. Okay, let's start with the profile nose. So I'm going to grab that peach that I made before, and we're just going to come straight down and out and hook that in. Okay, and then I want to turn around and I want to do a little bubble for the nostril. And that's a big bubble, so I'm just going to make the nose bigger. Alright, good thing this is practice. Alright, and then I am just going to pull this paint and just fill in all around this nose, because like I said, the shading around it is just as important as the shading on it. So the one thing with acrylic paint is it dries very fast. So you want to make sure you make yourself extra colors, and you also kind of want to move quickly. Now I'm going to probably be repainting a lot of stuff because I'm under a really bright light, number one, and number two, I'm going to be waiting for you guys to catch up mustard. So I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush. Righty? So the first thing you want to do is take that lighter peach And I always outline the nostril part. Okay, so you take that lighter peach and I outline my nostril part. And then, like I said, you got to learn how to do that softening. You have to learn how to do that softening. Okay, so I'm going in between the two colors. And I'm just going to soften it out. I'm grabbing the original peach because that dried on me already. So it's not making the softening between the two very easy. So I'm going to put that lighter color peach on here. And then I am just going to zigzag zoom between my two colors and soften that all out. Okay, so there's the nostril. Now with this lighter color on my brush, I'm going to turn around and do the top part of the nose here. And notice I'm zigzag zooming, guys. Zigzag zoom. So I'm putting the lighter color in, and then I'm zigzag zooming between the two colors to soften it out. And I'm zigzag zooming between this part too to soften all this together and to blend all those colors together. Okay? If you need to grab more of a certain color because it dried on you, you just put it on your brush and you add it in. Alright, so I had to grab that original peach and I'm adding that in, and then I'm back to zigzag zooming between the two. It's all good. Now I'm going to wipe all the paint off my brush, and another way to soften is wipe all the paint off of your brush and go from your lighter and pull it into your darker. That's another way to soften. Okay, so I'll show you again. I'm going to grab my lighter paint, very small amounts of paint, guys, and I'm going to put that right on the edge of this nostril right here. And then I'm going to wipe off my brush, and I'm going to go in between those two colors and do the softening. Okay? I'm going to grab that lighter paint, very small amounts of paint, guys. I'm going to go right on the ridge of this nose. I'm going to put that on the ridge of his nose, and then I'm going to wipe off the paint, and I'm going to soften between the two colors. Okay? I'm going to grab that lighter paint, and I'm going to turn around and put a nice big bright spot right there on the tip of the nose. Wipe off my brush and soften. Now I'm grabbing the original color because stuff dried on me again. And I'm just going to take the original color and go on the bottom of the nose here. Wipe off my brush and then soften. And go out of the lines, which is classic Kristen. And I had dark paint on my brush, so of course it got on the canvas. I'm telling you, painting in the lines is not my forte. It really isn't. So, we're just going to wash all that off. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to wash that off. Or try to. Anyway. There. There we go. Alright. Now, I'm going to switch to my smaller brush. That small round I was using before. Now, it's a beat up round. So, I'm going to blend with this. I don't suggest blending with a round brush because you're going to mess it up. And I messed this one up to the hilt. I've been blending with this one for a very long time. So that's why this one's kind of muffed up. And I'm going to grab that darker. I'm actually going to grab the tan color I made instead of the reddish one, because I don't know, I made a lot of this. Like a whole lot. I made a whole lot of that, so I want to make sure, I'm going to grab that. And I'm going to come in here around the nostril. Alright, so I'm going around the nostril. And I'm going to, see, I'm zigzag zooming with this round brush. I don't suggest you guys do that with your good round brushes. I suggest you get like a little flat shader brush or whatever you need. But I'm going around the nostril and I'm going to soften all that out. Okay, because like I said, the shading around the nose is just as important as doing the nose. Alright, and then I'm going to grab that darker color and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in the nostril. And I'm going to do it with this color first. So this way, if I need to blend it out, I can. So when you put the nostril in, you don't go all the way to the bottom. You leave a little piece of your nose right there. Okay, and you put your nostril in. And this way, if you mess it up, you can easily blend it out before you wind up making it darker and darker. Now, I made it a little too round right here. See how it looks like it's like it has flared nostrils? So I'm just going to grab my original color and I can blend that top piece right out again. So that's why you start off with not doing the black or not doing the really dark color. Start off with just a darker color of what you're working with. So this way, if you mess up, you can deal with it. And I'm going to grab some of that lighter peach now. And I'm going to come in and highlight the top of the nostril even more. Right? Softening. So what I just did is I highlighted this part. I got that in between color. And then right around the nostril is still nice and dark. And then it's the actual nostril. Alright, guys? And then I'm going to take that lighter color and I'm going to come in here and add that right onto there. Wipe off my brush and I'm going to soften that more. So see how I'm building it? I'm going, you know, I made it lighter before, but now I'm just building on top of that. Okay, so it's all a building. You don't just turn around and throw these like, bam, I'm going to make this lighter and have it like six shades lighter than what you're working with. You want to do this. You want to do this in steps and build on it. You want to do this in steps and build on it. Now I'm going to grab that original peach that I made. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to soften this all out. I'm going to soften this all out. And then when you get to this part, okay, you want to grab your darker color and then you're going to zigzag zoom between the two to blend that all together. And of course I covered up my nostril, so I got to put that back in. Wipe off my brush. Soften. Right? Everything is softening, blending, all that good stuff. Alright? And down in here, there's actually a highlighted part because you have that little bump before your lips. So I'm going to grab my lighter peach tone and I'm going to do that highlighted part right under there. And put my shadow back in. Right, now we're going to put my shadow back in. Nice dark shadow right underneath that nostril there. Right, nice dark shadow. And then nice dark shadow like right under here where the nose sticks out. Soften it. Okay, and now I'm going to make my nostril even darker. A little bit at a time. So I'm just, that little tan color that I made, I just grabbed the smallest amount of black and I'm mixing that with the color. And now that I have my nostril the shape that I want, I'm going to go in with the darker color. Because it's the shape that I want, I'm happy with it, I'm going to keep it, and we're going to put that in. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of the tan color, because it's a little darker than I wanted it to, and I'm just taking a little bit of the tan color and mixing that with it to kind of soften that out. So there's your profiled nose, okay guys? So it's really simple to do the profile. It's pretty easy. It's not too hard. I'll give you guys a chance to catch up mustard. We got noses in the house tonight. Oh yeah. So you have your profile nose, you put your highlights right on the edge, you highlight that little curved part, and you soften all of your tones. You make sure you have a shadow underneath that. You blend this together on this side. So this is the tricky part right here. Going from light to middle and then dark to middle. Getting that middle area of color right there. And that was all zigzag zoom with my brush and softening everything. So that's where you come into the tricky parts. Okay, and mixing your flesh tone colors. Like I said, you have to make sure that you have different colors. Now I made a bunch of that tan color, so I'm using that as my dark. And then I have the peach and then the lighter peach right there. So, and I just put my finger in red paint. Don't know how I did that. So I'll give you guys a chance to catch up mustard, and I'm going to wash my fingers off because I'm going to be showing you the front facing nose, and I don't want to blend with my finger and wind up having the paint that's on my fingers get onto my painting. So if you if you're like me and you use my most favorite blending tool, your finger, make sure you don't have paint on your fingers already that you're going to wind up getting on your painting. We don't want to do that. So we have Tina in the house, artist is here, Kristen, Kelly, and Marsha. Hello, 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 fam. I hope you're all doing well. Tina, I hope things calm down for you. And and if not, the replay is always available. So you guys can always watch the replay. I will post it to the event page. And we're going to do the front-facing nose. All right, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Noses aren't easy, and they're a bit frustrating, and they get a little bit difficult sometimes. But once you know a few simple tricks, it'll make it not as bad. Okay, guys, and you can do this. I know you can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'll tell you right now, I am not a portrait painter. I can paint people, but it's a patience test for me. And I don't have that much patience, to tell you the truth. So can I paint a person? Yes. Is it going to look like a Rembrandt? Absolutely not. I give kudos to all those artists that can do those classical portrait paintings. I'd have to get my oil paints out for that because it's a lot of blending. So if you have a medium to make your acrylics stay wet longer, I would definitely suggest that if you're going to do a portrait or people, because there's a lot of blending and acrylic paint dries very fast, but they have extender mediums that you can add to your paint that keeps the paint wet. So if you're going to do a portrait, I do suggest having that medium added to your paint. That way it can extend the blending life because your paint is staying wet for a longer amount of time. Otherwise, you have to work really, really fast, or you wind up adding the paint. If you notice for this nose, I had to keep adding the original color back on to do the blending, because that's what happens. It dries and then you can't blend it. Okay, another piece I wanted to show you on this, and I actually covered it with the eyes, but I'll show you right now. So as you bring the nose up, right? As you bring the nose up, the nose is going to go, the nose is going to come up and go into your forehead, right? And then you're going to have where the eye starts. Now where the eye starts, there's going to be a shadow where your eye starts. So when you do this and you're going to turn around and do your eyeball, you're going to have a shadow where the eyeball is. And then you're going to want to turn around and add all that in, and then you're going to soften that shadow into your nose color. Right, so you're going to have a shadow where your eye is, and then you're going to go back to your original peach and then soften that all out. Okay, so keep that in mind, and that's why I said if you can extend the blending life of your paint, I would definitely do that, because that's what it's all about. It's all about the blending. It's all about the blending and softening and all that good stuff. Tina, you had it looking halfway decent, then kept messing with it. Well, that's okay. That's what we do, right? We have to learn how to stop painting. But hey, for you to have a halfway decent looking nose, I'll take it, because they're not easy. Alright, so look at this thing. These things are not easy. There's lots of shapes and shadows and all sorts of stuff going on in there. So if you can get it halfway decent, and I can get it halfway decent, that means together we got a 100% decent looking nose, right? I'll take it. Alright, so now we're going to do facing front. Front and center. Oh yeah, front and center. So I'm going to turn around, and I'm just going to flip my canvas around so I can turn around and paint from this side still with some clean canvas. So we're just going to turn this right upside down. That's another trick some people do when they're painting faces. They actually do it upside down. So this way you're looking at the shapes and not your already preconceived notion of what it looks like. So some people paint their stuff upside down. That's another trick that some artists do. So this way they're just painting the shapes instead of their preconceived notion of a face. And then once they have all their shapes in, then they flip it over and schmooze it all. I don't do that. That messes with my head. But, you know, to each his own. Just another little trick for you. Alright guys, so we're going to do the forward facing nose. So, I'm going to start off with that base peach color again. Alright, and we're going to draw this in, right? So, we're going to turn around and we're going to put a line. We're going to put a line. A straight line, please. Eve, please. Alright, and then we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. Okay? And then we're going to put a little piece right in here. We're going to put a little piece right in there. Right? And then we're going to turn around and come out this way. Well, nope. Scratch that. We're going to turn around and come out at an angle and scoop it in. And another angle. Scoop it in. And then you'll have the basic shape of your nose. All right, now this up here is your forehead. This is your forehead. Okay. And then this is where your eyes are going to go. Right? So this is where your eyes would be. Now, I did a whole how-to video on how to paint eyes. So if you want to know how to paint eyes, you can just find that video. And remember, I said there's a shadow with the eyes. Okay, so, and that's on the side that, you know, you have to figure out how to blend that into the side of your nose. So you just soften that all out. My eyes are kind of close together. And you just soften that all out. All I did was grab my original color peach. I grabbed my original color peach, and then I'm just softening it into those darker colors that I put on for the shadows. Right? So you're going to soften all that out. Okay? And then I'm going to take the lighter peach, and I'm going to hit right down the center here. Right down the center. Whoop! Almost dropped my brush. Got it! I'm taking the lighter colored peach. I'm going right down the center. I'm going to wipe off my brush. And I'm going to zigzag zoom over on this side and zigzag zoom over on this side. Okay, and then you could just soften this area if you want. We're not working there yet. Okay, and then again, I'm going to take my darker color now, and on the side of my nose, I'm going to add this darker color. Right, and then I'm going to grab my original color, come over here, wipe off my brush. Go in between those two and soften that all out. Right? And I'm going to grab my darker color. I'm going to go on this side. Put that line of darker color in there. I'm going to grab my original color. Put that over here. Wipe off my brush. See, look. See all the wipies? You got to wipe off that excess paint. Wipe it off your brush. Okay? And then I'm going to come in between the two. And soften that all out. Alright. And then I'm going to go with my original peach. And I'm going to put this back in case my blending wound up making my nose smaller. I'm going to put that back in. Right? And just nice and soft, easy peasy, nothing hard. Don't be going nutty. Keep it nice and soft. Alright? And that's how you get the shading on the sides of your nose. Okay? Alright, now I'm going to come down here. Have a good night, Kelly. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it 6,000%, sweetheart. So, see you soon. So now we're going to do the shading around the nose, right? So I'm going to come around this nostril with my darker color. And I'm going to come around this nostril with my darker color. Right? And I'm going to make that actually, I'm just going to soften that outwards. Okay? Leaving it that darker color. You're welcome, sweetheart. And I'm going to come out here and soften this outwards. Whoop! Went into my nostril a little bit. That's okay. And I'm going to soften that outwards. Okay? But I'm going to leave it a little dark around the sides there. And I ran out of my original peach, so I'm making more. So hopefully it matches up pretty good. All right, and then I'm going to use my original peach, and I'm going to come over here, put in a spot here, and put in a spot there of my original peach. We could soften this out over here. Soften this out over here. All right, getting into your face more. Hi, Lisa. How you doing, sweetheart? I'm not good at mixing paints. They all end up looking all the same shade. Then my palette ends up being all the same colors in every well. I love it, Tina. I like it a lot. Hi, Lisa. How you doing, sweetie? That's all right. You'll get the hang of it, Tina. You'll get the hang of it. So I'm adding my dark back in and just doing a little zigzaggy zone there. That's it. All right, and then I added these two lighter patches underneath. I'm going to go with my darker paint. I'm going to go in with my darker paint right underneath the nose. Do a little zigzag zoom and soften that all out. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for stopping in. You do pretty good as a reference photo. Freehand sometimes needs some serious help. Yes, I understand that, Tina. I understand that completely. So I'm going to add my light and my light right in those two spots. Those two spots above your lip. Right? I'm just going to soften that out. Okay. Now that we have the shadowing all around the nose, now we're going to actually work on the nose. Alright, so I'm going to put that 1/2 inch flat away. I'll give you guys a chance to catch up mustard with your shadowing. If you noticed, I put a deeper shadow on one side than the other. You know, you want to keep that in mind. You know, usually when someone does a portrait, the one side of the face is darker than the other. I don't know why, but they do. I'm going to give this a chance to dry a little bit. And then we're going to work on the actual nose. So I'll give you a chance to catch up mustard. That's a good idea, Tina. You could turn around and do that. You could also Google image noses and do that. If you want to Google image your noses, you could turn around and go to Google, put noses, and hit images, and you'll get a whole bunch of images of noses because they're all shapes, sizes, different things. Yes, I guess that's why, you know, you have your light source and your shadows and your whatnot. So Tina is here, Artist is here, Kristen and Kelly and Marcia, and now Lisa. Hello. So, give you guys a chance to catch up mustard with that one. Alright, now I'm going to switch to that small round that I was using before, and we're going to work on the actual nose. Okay, so I'm going to put the highlights in, so I'm going to grab that lighter peach, and I'm going to come right over here on the tip of the nose, not directly on the bottom, like move it in a little bit. Move it in a little bit, so I'm going to put that. And then I'm going to grab my original peach color because it dried. It dried on me, so I'm going to soften it all out. Oh, there, I'll put my original peach color first. So the original peach color's on there, and now I'm grabbing the lighter peach, and I'm coming in here, and I'm going to put the highlight in, and now I can soften it all out. And you want to use a small amount of paint. I'll grab my original peach color. Soften this all out with the original peach color, because it already dried, so I have to add the original peach color back on. I'm adding the original peach color back on, and then I'm going to grab the lighter peach, come right on the tip of his nose, pull it up a little bit, like a little hook. And we're going to soften all that out. I'm just zigzag zooming, guys, blending between the two colors. That's all I'm doing. Right? So you get that nice highlight on the nose. And then there's a highlight on your nostrils. So I'm going to grab that lighter peach color again, and over here and over here is the highlight of your nostrils. I'm going to wipe my brush off, and then I'm going to soften that out. And soften that out. Okay? And then I'm actually going to grab my darker peach, and underneath the nostril in here, I'm going to add the darker peach. And on the other side, right in here, like it's on the side of the nose and it's into the nostril. You know what, Tina? That might be good for you, like having me talk you through it, and then you know what I said, and then looking at the reference photo, you can turn around and just remember what I said and try your hand at the on the reference photo. Okay, you guys see me playing around here, and I'm just adding the original peach and then like the highlights back in, because my paint is all dry. So that's what I'm doing, if you're wondering what I'm doing. And I overshot my edge, so I'm just going to put that dark back in there again. That's like my happy little accidents. I always overshoot, and then I have to add it back in. Alright, so that's your nostrils. So that's the tricky part. Hi, Katie. How you doing, sweetheart? Hello, 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 Katie. Yep, everybody has their own way of learning. So, you know, try it. Everybody has their own way of learning. Some people can learn as I talk. Some people are very visual. And I have a big old smear of peach going right down my cheek. I don't know how I did that. Artist says she didn't use paints tonight. She was sketching and taking notes, and you have to go do a pickup, and I learned a lot. So awesome, Artist. Enjoy your dinner, and I'm glad that I can help you. All right, so we're gonna do. So now I'm gonna turn around, and I'm going to see this little pointy thing right there? I'm gonna connect the nose now. So I'm going to use my darker paint and just fill that in. I'll use my darker paint over on this side and fill that in. And then I'm going to go with my original peach. The original peach color. And finish that piece in there. Sandy, there is no reference. I don't have a reference photo. You just, if you want a reference photo, you can Google images. You can Google images. Hold on. So, if you go, I'll show you. If you go onto Google and so if you go onto Google, right, I'm on Google and there's an images tab. So when you do a Google search, right, I'm on Google, right, I'm going to do a Google search noses. And then you hit enter, and right here is a tab that says images, and you want to hit that, and you'll get all these images of noses. You'll get all sorts of noses that you can use as a reference photo. So whatever nose you're going for, that's how you can get a reference for a nose. So, just to let you know that. So, do I have a reference photo that I painted? No. I just went on Google Images and put in nose, and you can get reference photos that way. Yes, that's exactly how you do it. So, there's a little button you hit that says images, and it'll pop up any images that you need so you can have those as reference photos. You're welcome, Sandy. No worries. So, I always pull up a reference photo, and then my painting comes out totally different from my reference. You started out okay, but kept messing with it and losing the shapes. That's going to happen. So, the more you play with it, the more you're going to lose your shapes. I'm just grabbing a little bit of dark peach. I'm going to go under this nostril some more. Alright, so now I want to add the nostrils in. And that's okay, Tina. I don't mind. It keeps me going. You guys talk to me. I love it. 6,000%. I like it a lot because at least I know you're out there. Alright, and I'm going to add a little more dark right here to get that piece that's right under the nose. Okay. So, now I want to put my nostrils in. So, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to grab some dark brown. And I'm going to put in the nostril here. Now, you don't go all the way to the bottom. You leave a little piece. So, I'm going to put in the one nostril here. And the one nostril over there. Alright, so you don't go all the way to the bottom. You leave a little piece of the nose around the whole thing, around your nostrils. And if I like it, I'm going to grab even darker paint. Notice I'm not... What did I mix to get the base peach, Sandy? I mixed equal parts red, yellow, and white. Red, yellow, and white. Equal parts. And then to make it lighter, add more white. To make it darker, you can add a little bit of blue. Or you can add a little bit of red. Thank you, Tina. Yep, that's exactly how I did it. And now that I like the size and shape of my nostrils and they're in the right place, I'm going to add the darker color. Now, I don't make this all big solid. I kind of just dab it in there. I don't make it like one solid circle. I just kind of dab it in there. And I'm going to have my darker color. So, I mean, this guy has really big nostrils, but that's okay because I kind of, you know, this whole piece is kind of big, but excuse me. Thank you. Thank you, Tina. But I wanted to show you the details in the nostrils. So this guy's got some big nostrils in there. But you can play with your shapes and your sizes. He has a very big nose. And that's okay because I wanted to show you to you. Now, this is the basics, and you guys can build on this if you want to. So I'm going to swirl, tap, dab my round brush, and now that I have everything in there, now I can brighten and darken my tones even more if I want to. So I can grab that lighter peach color and grab the original peach color, right? And I can come in here and do my zigzag zoom and really define that highlight on the tip of the nose. Okay, so you know, once you have your basics in, which is what I showed you, you can turn around and play. And you know, when you play, you might mess it up some more. That's okay. That's what practice is for. You know, you'll learn for yourself what not to do. I'm just putting some more of the highlight color in my nostril here. So then you just learn to play. That's all you do. And like I said, if you play and mess it up, that's all right. That's how you learn. And you can make your colors a little more drastic if you want to. You know, you can soften some things. Like I just softened his nostril out because it was a little like too dark. Okay, it was too black. I didn't really like it. So I'm softening that out for myself as I'm looking at this. This little spot right here is a little wonky. So I'm going to fix that by grabbing my original peach and fix this line a little bit better. Right, I can turn around and add a shadow to the bottom part of his nose, like right in there. Soften all that out. So now I'm just playing with all my different peaches and adding more drastic coloring to him. And you know, that'll come in time as you play and you practice and you learn all these things. It'll come in time, and sometimes you do this and it makes it worse. Sometimes you do this and it makes it better. I mean, it's all in good fun. So it is all up to you guys to just have fun with this and practice. Noses are hard, and it's a lot of blending, and it's a lot of getting your colors right and doing the flesh tones and whatnots and all of that good stuff. So remember, the shadowing around the nose is just as important as the actual nose. So you got to do a lot of zigzag zoom in and blending your colors and getting it to where you are happy with your nose job. Your nose job. Right? We can all give ourselves a nose job. Just take a piece off. And, you know, you'll learn all sorts of things, all sorts of tips and tricks and whatnots. And I hope it just makes you that much better at creating. So, you guys, if you have any questions for me, that's fine. We had a bunch of fam here tonight. We had Tina and artists, Kristen, Kelly, Marsha, Lisa, and Katie in the house. And we had Sandy here. So, we do it family style going on. Have fun with your practicing. Of course, it is always free to watch. Tips are appreciated. I will put that in the comments again. And if I could find the button. And whoever sends me a tip gets 2 Mr. Nifties for free. I have the brush sets that are for sale. I have painting kits that are for sale. And it's exactly what I use every single party. So it is the same supplies for all of my replays and all future parties. It's always, always, always the same thing. Same colors, same brushes. Every single time. The how-tos, I might use different sorts of brushes, but I'm just showing you techniques with different kinds of brushes. But the paint parties, always, always, always the same. So I just want to say thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope you learned a lot. And that's it. That was how to paint noses. We did a nice puppy nose to warm ourselves up, and we did our human nose. And for Friday, you're going to need it because the painting has faces in it. So, oh good, Tina. I'm glad you learned a lot. I'm glad you learned a lot, sweetheart. It's fun to practice. You're welcome, Marcia. You're welcome, Tina. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Appreciate it. Replay will be posted on the event page. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me. You all warm my heart, and have fun and go create, okay? Good night, everybody.